It actually has been going real quick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it did late the night.
Yeah, it's already hit over there on YouTube. And we're live on Twitch.
Sweet.
And we're live over on Facebook too. So I guess I can say good morning, everyone. Error occurred. Please try again later over on YouTube. There it goes.
There we go. Got us on the big screen TV too.
Cool. Good morning, everybody. This is just, I figured since we're all kind of like shut in and don't have a lot of outside, or at least we're not supposed to be having a lot of outside communication as far as personal, especially here in Florida. I figured we'd just try this mornings with Russ, and whoever wants to join me in the panel, normal panel, is going to join me, and when they can. And this may not be every morning. I just want to make sure everybody knows that. Sometimes I have things I have to do first thing in the morning, so this may not like a doctor's appointment or other things, but may not be every morning. So you just keep an eye out. I'll try to post the night before or the morning of early if we're going to have one. And like I told Brenda and Chris and the others that are listening that are on the panel might not be here. If I forget the night before to post that we're having a show, PM me and ask me, are we having a show tomorrow? So y'all ain't waiting around twiddling your thumbs and then get ticked off and because I didn't tell you. But yeah, we'll try. And this is only Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. It will not be on the weekends. And like I said, it may not be every time. Or every morning, just to say that. But, give us a little communication, see what we're doing. James Parker is over on Facebook, and he says, hello, James. Gerald Vance is over on Facebook. Hey, I like this new Restream bot that has, and I played around with it the other night, getting it set up a little bit better. It's supposed to take all the chats from Facebook and from Twitch and put them on YouTube, since I actually put YouTube as my base place for the show. So that makes it pretty nice. So I don't have to go back and forth. And I would ask if y'all kind of help me keep an eye on Facebook. I don't expect too many people from Twitch to be on, but we might have a few. Pat Lagore joined, Chris Ahern, Jim Richardson also is over on Facebook. Let me get over here, and since I have Facebook open twice, and close it out on this computer. So yeah. But anyway, yeah, it's just impromptu. We're just going to sit around BS, and no big deal. How's everybody doing?
Hanging in one day at a time.
Yep.
Just going through the supplies. I've pretty much eaten all the cookies. So.
You can't eat them all at one time, Chris.
Well, they say the grocery stores are going to stay open, so I'm not worried.
We've got that news down here. Publix actually, I was telling everybody, we have a grocery store chain down here in the South. It's in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, and I think South Carolina, called Publix. I love the place. Clean. All the people are, they'll fire you in a heartbeat for not being courteous. I don't care. You can stand there and cuss the employee out, and he's supposed to stand there and take it. So, yeah, they're clean, courteous, and they try their best. And they just announced the other day on Facebook, there's plenty of food. The warehouses have food. Just quit binge buying for no reason.
Yeah.
And it said, because you're depleted, they can't keep the trucks and the shelves stocked quick enough because people are just buying the crap out of everything. It's like there is no shortage. This is not, and here in Florida, I don't know why the hell you're doing that. You go through hurricanes all the time, people.
Yeah.
That's when the store gets blown down and there are no groceries.
Right.
You know, we got, You ain't lived until you go 2 weeks without water, 2 weeks without electricity, 2 weeks without food other than what you have gotten ready and, you know, ready for the hurricane for. So why are people doing that? The Floridians are turning into Floridians because they should be.
I saw a meme the other day. It said that Noah only took 2 of everything on the ark with him. Remember that, people. Only 2 of everything. You don't need 42,000 rolls of toilet paper.
James Parker wants to know how is everybody doing. We're all doing good. And then he says he has his last radiation treatment today. Good. Sweet. Hopefully that will be it. It'll take care of the situation and you won't have anything more to worry about.
Yes, cook on the grill, he says. Well, cooking on the grill is not a big problem.
Okay, so Jim Richardson over on this, for some reason, it's not picking up Facebook. I got to figure out why. Says, hello and God bless. I pray everyone is doing well and my blessings. Yes, we're all doing good. Donald Trulia. I'm terrible for names, so I'm sorry. He gives good morning. And Jim Richardson says, you will either lose 20 pounds or gain 20 pounds during all this. Yeah, you got that right. Chris is obviously going to gain.
I'm already going to gain it because no gym, no working out.
Yeah. So Native Son Woodwork says, good morning, guys. Yeah, it's like, yeah. We've been doing good. We're actually starting. I mean, we got plenty of food. Don't get me wrong. But we were going to have to do some things. We're going to need toilet paper by the end of the month. The first of the month, we buy a big box that will last us all month long. And so we did that the 1st of March before this craziness ever started. So, but by the end of March, we're going to need to seek toilet paper. So
good luck.
Yeah. I'm not proud. I get in the shower and wash my butt off, you know. I like, what's his name? Jerry Blakesley posted, spray pan between your legs. It won't stick.
Exactly.
Or between your butt cheeks.
You know, if everybody would just stay home, for the love of God, stay home, would be over this.
Yeah. I had to go out Monday to Publix. We had needed milk. They had milk and a few other things. We were out of black pepper. Oh my God, I can't live without black pepper. You might as well just shoot me right now. I put pepper on everything, including ice cream. No, I don't put it on ice cream. But black pepper, a few things that we needed. And I was going to say that before. My excursion out was very nice. Publix is a very clean store. They're very courteous. Even the people, like, I don't know why they do this, but some people stop in the middle of the aisle to look at something. I haven't figured that out yet. I'm
no,
like,
either. Nope.
It's like pulling up in the middle of the street, so to speak, and just stopping and just taking a look at the clouds and the trees and the birds and stuff. It's like, can't you pull to the right if the item's on the right or the left if the item's on the left? But anyway, my point is a couple of people and I would say, excuse me. And oh, I'm sorry. You know, and they moved out. So they were nobody hollering, nobody fighting. They had groceries, but not a lot. Some of this, they had milk and eggs were gone. There was no eggs. Actually, I'm shocked that the fresh produce was plentiful. I mean, plentiful.
The only thing that was out at ours was the bananas. Everything else was stocked.
We had bananas. I got bananas to feed my monkey. I mean, my wife. She loves bananas. Oh, she hears that. She's going to be pissed.
That's how she's sleeping.
Yep. James Parker has joined us. The Dad Cave. Hey, everybody. Hey. Is out there. Leonard Davis. Stay safe. Yes, we're trying to stay safe. Have you noticed anyone being hostile? No, like I said, the couple of excursions I've made in the last 2 weeks, which has strictly been to the grocery store, I'm staying the heck away from everybody. Everybody stayed away from each other. About the closest you have to come to somebody is the cashier. I mean, you can't stay 6 foot away because the aisle's damn sure ain't. So you come close to her. They've all been nice and courteous. The little girl that was the first time I went, the young girl, she's a teenager, I know. And I was talking to her, just chit chatting and everything. And I told her, I said, yeah, I said, I feel sorry for, the firemen and everything else. And she goes, yeah. And she goes, and they make us work too. And I said, sweetheart, let me explain something to you. I said, right now, your job is just as important as theirs. I said, people have to have food. And therefore, we need people like you here in the stores to be able to sell the food and give it to the people. So I said, don't think your job's not important. You're just as important as everybody else that has to be out there at this time. And she kind of like smiled and she goes, thank you. So I hope I brightened up her day.
Yeah, we were there Saturday or Sunday. And I remember going down the aisle and I had a cough, just a dry cough, and no big deal. But I'm waiting for the aisle to clear out before I put my mouth to my shirt and cough. So I don't want to freak people out.
Yeah, I know. First thing in the morning is the worst time, like you, Chris, you said, with because I have allergies. First thing in the morning, you've been sleeping all night long and you wake up and it's all like,
yeah.
So
the dry throat and everything else.
You blowing your nose and all that kind of stuff. So I have a habit. I get into these sneezing fits. Yep. It don't matter what time, but sometime in the morning I'll sneeze, sometimes twice, 3 times, sometimes 10 times. And every time I walk into Publix, I'm like, oh, please don't let me get that sneezing fit while I'm in here.
Yeah, it's not good.
You know how hard it is to not touch your face?
Oh, I was watching the replay of a show the other night, and I must have done it 100 times. Not even realizing I was doing it.
When I go into the store, I consciously say to myself, don't touch your face, don't touch your face, don't touch your face. Oh, word of point. They used to have the hand sanitizer little things that you could pull out at the door at Publix. They had to take them away. People were taking their grocery bags and pulling them out and filling them with grocery bags.
All they're going to do is dry out, you idiots.
And I'm like, for real? And because I asked, I said, what? There was somebody standing there. I was like, how come you don't have that thing to wipe the handles on? And they said, we had to take them away. People were just sitting there pulling them out and putting them in their bags. And I'm like, you're kidding me. And they're like, they said, like, no, so we just moved them. I said, they weren't going to last anyway, so we just moved them. And
ours has the lotion that you just scrub your hands with and it dries off.
So anyway, you go through the store and you're not touching your face. Well, I come back to the car, and I put the groceries in and everything, and I'm already touched the groceries and everything. But anyway, I open the door. We have hand sanitizer. I have it in my truck. My wife's had it for long periods of times. One of the reasons she keeps it in her car is because when she goes to see her mother at the nursing home, which she can't do right now, before she would go in, she would use it to make sure she didn't take anything into the nursing home.
Right.
Okay. Just as a precaution for her. I've had it in my truck for eons. Let's say that I'm out somewhere and I want to stop and get a hamburger or whatever. I may not be able to stop and wash my hands, but I can use the hand sanitizer before I eat my hamburger and stuff. So we've had it. But anyway, so the first thing I do is reach in, get some hand sanitizer, clean my hands. The second thing I do is hold the keys in my hands and rub the keys down. Think about it. I just had to take the keys out of my pocket. And I don't get into the car, but I just had to take those keys out and use them to unlock the door with contaminated hands. So when I get it home and take the keys out, guess what? I recontaminated mine. So I do the keys too. I don't know how long they're going to last with that hand sanitizer on them. But
what I've noticed that, I know a lot of disabled people, they use their mouth for a lot of things. You stick your key in your mouth while you're unloading the car, or you only get used to one hand, so you put the pencil in your mouth while you're doing something else. It's just a way a lot of them were brought up to do things, and this has got to be driving them crazy.
Jim Richardson over on Facebook said he has to go. He just wanted to drop in and say hello and God bless. Donna's wood art. Donna. Yeah.
I told her we've been waiting for her.
Yep. Good to see you. Donna, if ever you want to join us in the mornings, I'll just PM me on Facebook and I can send you the link if you want to join us sometimes. And if you want to start going, we have plenty of room since I'm using this new software, Donna, on Saturday shows. So if you ever want to join that, just let me know. But yes, I do the streaming wheel as well, Leonard said. But yeah, so if you ever want to join us, just let me know. And like I said, if you want to join us sometimes in the mornings, just listen. I thought Jim Bashir said he was going to be here.
Yeah.
There were several people. Where y'all at, you lazy butts? Y'all still asleep? Just because you're not having to work don't mean you have to get your butt up in the morning.
Well, I'm here because we have dogs. The dogs had to go out, so we were getting up.
I wake up every morning between 5 and 6. Now, sometimes it's 6:05, and sometimes it's 5:05, and sometimes it's 5:30. But between 5 and 6, I wake. Lights are on.
My normal is 4:30.
4:30.
Sleep. Yeah, I've been sleeping until 7:30 since this all started. So that's usually because I go to the gym and I get to work ahead of traffic, and I get a ton of work done before my people show up. So it looks like I'm goofing off all day. So, but all my responsibilities are taken care of. So I get most of the day's work done before they even show up.
What are you doing today, Brenda?
Well, I've got a whole list of cooking and cleaning and all that kind of stuff to do today. I'm going to make some pickled eggs and bake some cookies, and I'm going to make a pizza, and I don't know, just all kinds of stuff. I got to get the dehydrator out and the canner. Those are out in the garage, and I got to get those in here. I'm going to be putting up some apples and making some orange juice.
I want to get a dehydrator. I'm going to have to hit you up and figure out how to use that thing. But pickled eggs, what do you pickle? How do you pickle them?
I use beets and onions and make a brine.
Yeah. Wow. Sounds good. We used to get these big jars of these red sausages.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of the name of them right now, but they were down here in the South. I mean, they've got pig's feet, pig nose, pig ears, pig brain, anything you can ever think of in those sausages.
It came from a pig, it goes in the jar.
Yeah, it goes in the jar. And to make those sausages, yeah, they take all the leftovers and make the sausages. But they got the juice that they put them in. Oh, it is so good. So my dad used to buy those sausages, and we'd eat the sausages out of them, and then he would boil eggs and put the hard-boiled eggs in there and seal them up and leave them for a while. And
yeah, you make them up, and then you wait like 3 weeks. You put them in the fridge and give them about 3 weeks. Brine up.
Donna said, I'll start masking face mask at my local doctor's office today, and last night started making sanitizer. Yes. Yeah, beets are good. I love beets. I know a lot of people don't like them, but I like them.
Never developed a taste for them.
Yeah, some people don't.
When I was a kid in the summertime, we'd have a big bowl of pickled eggs with beets and onions and some cucumbers sitting out on the kitchen table.
Yes.
And
now, were the cucumbers pickled also? Did y'all put them in vinegar?
Yep. Yeah. Put it all in the brine right there in that big bowl.
Yep.
And
we had the same thing.
We'd be snacking on that all day long.
Yep. You just sit on the table. Well, and when you eat, sit down to eat. Now, do you cut your beets up in chunks, or you get the small beets, or?
I usually slice them.
Slice them.
They fit in the jar better, if you're doing them that way.
Yeah.
You put in a layer of beets, and then you put in a layer of sliced onions, and then you put in several eggs, 3 or 4 eggs, depending on how big your jar is. And then you pour a little brine over that, and then you layer it again until you get to the top of the jar, and put the lid on, put it in the refrigerator, and let it sit there for about 3 weeks. I'll usually, every 3 or 4 days, go in there, kind of shake it up a little bit,
Yeah, and get things moved around.
You can put some dill in there too if you got
that jar that we had with those sausages in it. It had to be a gallon jar. I mean, it would hold, I think, 2 or 3 dozen eggs.
Mm-hmm.
I know it hold 2 dozen, but I'm thinking 3 dozen. And you can still buy those sausages today. They're just not in like a lot of your local grocery stores. There's some of the like smaller meat markets and smaller grocery stores that are still around here in Florida, so to speak, and they will carry those sausages. But and I've stumbled across them and bought them before, and they say they can't be healthy for you, and I'm like, my dad lived to be 80-something years old, and he had got prostate cancer. He laid in a bed in a coma for 5 days. and the doctors told us every day he can't make it tomorrow. He can't make it tomorrow. And his heart was so strong that's what they couldn't believe, that it just kept right on beating. So if he had cholesterol and all that BS they're talking about from all, he eat hog head cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know what hog head cheese is?
Oh yeah.
Hog head cheese, Chris, is the snout and the brains and the ears, and once again, all the stuff that you wouldn't think about eating, they put it in hog head cheese.
Yeah.
Okay.
My granny used to eat it.
Yep.
Yep.
I was raised on it. That and sardines.
I was gonna do some of them little smoky cocktail sausages.
Yeah.
I like to do those with barbecue sauce and a jar of grape jelly, you know. And they didn't have any sausages at the store.
Really?
At least not on the online. I do my shopping online, you know, order it and just go pick it up. And there are several different kinds listed, but every time I tried to put them in the cart, they said out of stock, out of stock, out of stock. So I guess everybody in town must be eating them little sausages.
See, with sausages and hot dogs, I don't want to know the magic that goes into it. I just want to enjoy it. So I don't need the ingredients.
Like I said, I didn't know what I was eating when I was younger. Well, like, you know, my dad ate it. I want to eat it. I wouldn't want to be just like Dad. So, but then later on, I found out what was actually in the stuff, and I went like, well, I've been eating it for 3 or 4 years now.
Exactly.
I guess
Exactly.
it ain't gonna kill me. Olive loaf.
Mm-hmm.
You know what olive loaf is, Chris?
Yep. We can get in the delis up here.
Yep, I love olive loaf. Oh, that's so good. Now, my mother loved olive loaf. That was her favorite lunch meat.
Native Son Woodart wants to know, have y'all been making any projects during this isolation? Well, last week I made a sticker board, and I've yet to get time to do the edit on the video so I can get the video up, but I got that much done. Been doing a lot of cooking.
Chris? I haven't made much yet. I've worked my model airplanes, but I hope to open the shop later on this week. It's supposed to get into the 50s, so that's bearable out there.
Did you ever get your table saw situation done?
I've still got one too many now. I put it on the Northeast Makers page. It says it needs a new family. I'll take a reasonable offer just to make it go away.
Yeah.
So if not, maybe I'll just give it away. I don't know in the end, but sooner or later it's got to go. So.
I've done two. See, I'm touching my face, but you see, I haven't been anywhere. So, and I washed my hands before I came in here, by the way. I've done two, and they're in the editing mode, just like Brenda is saying. And the one was my daughter. She sent me a picture of what I would want to call a toilet lid caddy. It's just a little wooden box where you can put. She wants to put trinkets in it and stuff like that. And damn it, that's my sinuses that we've been talking about, but. It's more of just like a cute little box for flowers, or you can put a roll of toilet paper in it or whatever. And like one of them, there's some sayings on the ones that she showed me. Some of them say "sweet cheeks" or "the cheeks are here" or something like that. But anyway, so I did that video. It's probably 14 inches long, probably 5 or 6 inches wide, and I know it's 3.5 inches tall because I used a one before to make the sides out of it. But I did that project, which is in the editing mode. I got to get it done. And then yesterday morning, my son has a GNU. Y'all want to know what a GNU is?
I don't know. I don't want to walk into that.
It's nothing wrong. Okay, it's part canoe, part boat. The front of it looks like a canoe, but in the back it's like flat for like you can put a electric motor or an outboard on it, and since it's a little wider in the rear or the back of the boat, what is that, the stern? Yeah, since it's wider in the stern area, it's more stable, a lot more stable than a normal canoe. A canoe is not stable at all. You got to know what you're doing.
Yeah, if you get one that's got a thin keel down the middle,
yeah,
more stable.
That helps.
See, I was afraid I was going to say, I don't know, what's the canoe? And you'd say, I don't know, what's canoe with you?
Yeah, no. So he bought one of these. He got it used. It's a very expensive one, a very nice one. and but he got it for a heck of a deal. And anyway, my point is, it weighs like 150, 200 pounds. So it's, you know, it's a challenge for one person, especially it's 14 foot long.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a challenge kind of for one person. So he wanted to make a stand so that when he come home and back to, it'll fit in the bed of his truck. When he comes home, he can just pull it off out of the truck onto the stand and then push it in the garage, rather than having to try to pull it down and keep it from rubbing on the concrete and bring it into the garage. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we spent yesterday morning making one out of just, I told him, he says, how many 2x4s? And I said, get 12. And he goes, that many? We ended up using 11.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and I told him get 3-inch drywall screws, and he got those. But it's on the video, or we videoed part of it, and then he's taking pictures when he got it home of putting the canoe on. He said, Dad, we put big 3-inch casters on the bottom of it just for the fact to make it easy rolling. I didn't want anything small. And he said, Dad, it works great. 2 of the casters in the back, he'll push it to the bed of his truck, and I got a 2x4 that butts right up to his bed or his tailgate, so it don't damage it, so to speak, and lock the back wheels and just pull it right out onto it, unlock the wheels, and push it right into his garage.
Cool.
I designed it also down at the bottom where he's going to get a piece of plywood. We're going to add some more supports. Actually, we might need one more 2x4. Put them across the bottom of it and put a piece of plywood in. Then he can use that to store his bait bucket, his rod and reels, anything down there in the bottom of it. So that essentially, whenever he pulls that to the truck, everything he needs will be right there.
Cool. That's a project I've always wanted to do. I think when we get to Florida, I get a bigger shop. I want to build a dory. A wooden dory. Always been fascinated with boat builders, and I've watched every video out there, people building boats and dories, and I want to give it a shot. So, especially when we get down there and we get a house on the canal like we want. So then I'll have a place to launch it and keep it. So,
Leonard Davis said he made a wine rack for his wife. Cool. Native Son Woodart said I should make one for his girl. Yeah, it worked great. I built it out of my head, and when he told me what he needed, I said, all right, we'll make it nice and, you know, open. But this thing's 14 foot long, so we had to make the thing 8 foot long because there's still 3.5. Well, it needs to be at least 7 foot long because there's still 3.5 hanging over the ends, or 3.5 foot hanging over the ends. So we made it 8 foot. Scroll sayings in the sides. Yeah, we could do that. But he said it worked. He said it worked fantastic. John Strawson joined us over there on Facebook, and my nephew, Mark Malden, is watching us over on Facebook. Hi, Mark. Hope y'all are all doing fine. I need to call you, see how y'all are all doing over there. Sometimes you forget. I ran into my brother the other day when I was out going to the grocery store. I hadn't seen him since a little while, since Christmas, I think it was. We're still live over on Twitch. And yeah, so I've got 2 videos like you, Brenda, that I've got to get out and get up on my site. Today I'm doing, you sit there and go like, how much yard work can you do? Today I'm doing some more yard work. All of my flower beds over the years have, well, they were low to begin with, but they've somehow gotten lower. And so I've gotten some fill dirt and big trailer full, probably 2 yards. And so I'm filling up redoing the flower beds, filling them all up. That's what I'm doing today. And then I've got an area over in my yard. For some reason, the oak tree roots have decided to come out of the soil, which makes it a pain in the butt to try to mow around. So I'm going to be distributing some dirt. I might have to have one more load of fill dirt. So I'll be distributing the dirt over those to make it a little more easier to mow. And I'll probably be working in the yard the rest of this week and then finally get it done.
Yeah,
Oh,
yard
there-
work is not something we got to worry about here right now. We had snow a couple days ago, and now the yard's a swamp. So
Yep. So is ours.
Are you guys boomers? I guess that means Facebook. Michael Anthony Murray is over on Facebook, and he says, "Morning, good morning, Michael. How are you doing? Are you guys baby? What is the time period for a baby boomer?"
yeah, I'm in that time frame.
What is the time frame?
I believe it ended about 64, 63.
1946 to 1964.
Okay.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
just a
so
little
I'm a baby boomer. I was born in 1958.
62.
Vernon says you guys are old.
Who?
Somebody
Vernon.
named Vernon that's in the YouTube
You guys
chat.
are old.
You guys
Thanks a
are
lot. I appreciate that.
All
Okay.
right.
If
We-
you're
we
lucky,
can-
honey,
we can-
you're going to get to be old too.
And just be happy we fixed everything before you got there.
That's right.
Anyway, Patty Richardson asked, "Are you guys boomers?" Yes, we're baby boomers. Leonard Davis says, "My yard is under snow." Vernon says, "You guys are old." He said, "Get a job instead of being online like a bunch of homeless people." Some of us have jobs. It's called,
Exactly.
we're supposed to be at
Retirement.
home and social distancing because of the virus. So I don't know where you've been, but we can't go to work.
And it's called retirement
Yeah, I'm
Exactly.
retired.
because we put in our time.
Yep, I'm retired. I worked for the fire department for 30 years, so I'm retired.
Boomers ruined the world. You guys probably still believe in God. Who
Yes,
are these
I do.
idiots?
Midnight Chameleon. Yes, I do believe in God. I sure do.
I
Let's
believe
put
in
it
me.
this way. Let's put it this way. I would rather live my life believing in God and praying and make it to heaven than finding out, or than not doing that and finding out at the end that it's real. Because the alternative is not going to be very good if it is real.
It's called covering your bases.
Yes.
Who is that guy? Midnight Chameleon.
Kelly castrates says, "I'm going to hell." Okay.
Yeah, well, Kelly, save me some space, will you? Not worried about the big guy upstairs. We have an agreement. He stays out of my way. I'll do the good thing. And I'll stay out of his way.
Yeah.
That's this schmuck.
Yeah, I know. Donna's Wood Art wants to know if anyone else is making masks. You can still get the Filtrete filter to add to the mask by taking apart the outside of the filter and cut the filter material to size. Walmart has them, and you get the filter that's advanced allergic bacteria and virus. Okay, so you're talking about
Oh, for a medical mask.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why I didn't put that together.
I was watching a video the other day that a doctor's wife had made this video that she was making face masks out of HEPA filters that they use for vacuum cleaners. And out of one vacuum cleaner bag, you could get 4 masks, and she had a pattern that you could use to do that.
Interesting. That makes sense. Yeah, I can see that now. I wish I could sew. I could barely handle putting a button back on.
Yeah, the doctor started out talking about these masks that people are making. He said, "We really appreciate you doing this, but in all honesty, the cotton fabric is not enough to filter out the germs that we need filtered out of these masks when we're dealing with this virus. So if you
Right.
want to make masks, that's great, but make something that's effective." And my wife came up with this idea, making them out of the HEPA filters. And so I'm going to show you, play the video here of how she's making these, so that you'll know how to do it. And I put that up on my Facebook page on Facebook. So you probably have to scroll down because I'm always posting stuff on Facebook, but it is on my Facebook page.
Okay, so I've got a very interesting thing that I understand what you're saying about the masks are really not as effective, and I agree. Don't get me wrong, but in the same aspect, I'm still hooked up with some friends and watch some of the stuff that's coming out for my local fire department, Polk County Fire Rescue. Matter of fact, I posted on Facebook a list of things that you're not supposed to mix that can cause toxic fumes that they had put out. But I watched the medical director of the fire department talking about it. And one thing that they are telling to do, and it does help, it's maybe not so much getting all the germs, but if you can knock down a lot of the germs, and what they're supposed to do is if they go in, if the paramedic gets a call to a house, if they walk in and the person is sneezing or coughing or shows signs of flu-like symptoms, so to speak, they mask the person immediately. The reason being is, and they mask themselves also, but the reason being is that mask, if they sneeze or cough, will trap a lot of the germs and bacteria or the virus inside that mask and keep it from going airborne throughout the room.
Right.
So if you're going to a store, and I've seen some people wearing the mask, and it may not be 100% effective, but what if it's that 1% that keeps you from catching it? So, and even these ones that people are making, they've got to help some. Like I said, they may not be perfect, they may not be great, but in a situation, I would rather wear it than nothing. Now, I don't think it's got to that point yet because I didn't wear one when I went to the grocery store the other day. But I would, if it got to the point where it was getting really, really bad, I would start wearing one. And like I said, I want to be that that 1 percentile that it helped. So that's the way I look at it.
Wow.
Yeah, they were told to, like I said, mask the person immediately. Another thing they were told to do is if they have to have a breathing treatment, a butyrol or whatever, to do those masks are not contained masks. The vapors come out of the mask when they're doing the breathing treatment. And so they're told to do the breathing treatments inside the home that they're in and get them stabilized before they bring them to the back of the ambulance to keep from contaminating the ambulance any more than it has to. They're still going to decontaminate the ambulance if they carry somebody. The point is it will help lessen the amount of stuff that could go inside the ambulance, so to speak. Yes, Portal Woodworks. Whenever I started hearing about this thing going around, I ordered a bunch of filters. I have 2 RZ masks, and I ordered a bunch of filters for them. So I have filters. I don't have the N whatever mask, but I have filters for my RZ mask if it comes down to where I need to wear one of them. So I realized that real quick. These masks are going, and it just so happened to be I had 3 or 4 of those little white masks. I wear them to do yard work in. If I'm raking or doing stuff or mowing where the dust is getting and the pollen's getting, I wear those to help keep from getting a sinus infection. It just so happened to be just before this thing came out, I had used the last mask and was going to go buy some more. Unfortunately, I didn't make it. So I went ahead and ordered the RZ mask filters. I'll wear the RZ mask to work in the yard if I have to. Buster Noreen Stott said, "Hi, Russ. Portal Woodworks is out there." What time are we running here? 9:40. Yeah. We're only going to do this for an hour, and sometimes it might not even go an hour, too, by the way. I got my RZ mask also, and son went to survival prep store and found a gas mask. Okay. Hi, Portal David from Portal Woodworks. Buster and Noreen Stott, they're out there. They said, hi, Russ. I'll go over here and check it. Tony Trupiano, Leroy Hodges joined. Adele was my first woman one of the first women to ever work for the fire department. And she was my partner. Hi, Adele. She said she wanted to stop and say hello. I'll have to stay safe, everybody. You stay safe too. I believe she lives up in Kentucky. So I hope I'm supposed to say that, Adele. But yes, I still don't see anybody over on Twitch, which is fine. But we've got a number of people watching us over on Facebook and also here on YouTube. I get it out in a minute.
I'm looking at RZ mask on Amazon and none are available at the moment.
Yep, they've all sold out.
Yeah.
Trust me, I went online a week ago and looked for toilet paper. There's no online toilet paper at Walmart, Amazon, Sam's Club, Target, Walgreens. All of them say check store availability.
Yeah.
So
I found one available, but you can't get it until April 11th. Hopefully we're over this by then. So.
Yeah. Well, we're what, day 8 or 9 of the president's 15 days stay the hell away from everybody. So
I think it's going to go longer than that, but
yeah, I do too. I'm afraid of that, but it's got to help some.
Oh yeah, definitely. I couldn't believe yesterday I'm online and saw one of my buddies went out and played golf with a crowd of friends of his. Like, you guys kidding me? Yeah. Playing golf, and another one, landscapers were working on a yard, and they're all within feet of each other. Like, what is wrong with people? Landscaping can wait.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, some people are trying to make money, and I understand that, but at the risk of your health.
Life, yeah.
They, I would like to talk about one thing. I've been reading a lot on it, and if you're, and it doesn't matter if you're old. There was a woman I read that was in a nursing home that was 90-something, anyway, she was like 90 years old and caught it. And she was only sick for 2 or 3 days and recovered, and she's fine. And she was talking to people and said, I'm great and everything. I do believe there's a difference in younger and older getting, but the biggest thing is if you're healthy, that's a big plus. They're saying O blood, like O positive or O negative, that's a big plus. That's the best to have. I have O positive. And the third thing is it affects people with underlying problems. Asthma, emphysema, a smoker, bad for you because it affects your lungs as this thing attacks the lungs. If you've had cancer and been through chemotherapy, anything that would affect your immune system. If you just had the flu and it was only the flu, your immune system could be compromised. So, but if you're a healthy, strong adult, I consider myself healthy. I get out every day. I'm not sitting on my butt and I eat pretty good. So I consider look at Tom Hanks and his wife caught it. They were in the hospital. They said they were only sick for 48 hours and it felt like they had a bad cold, and boom, they're out and everything's fine. So
they may not completely had it, but who knows?
Portal Woodwork says, I'm doomed. I have A positive blood. My son, I think, Corey has A negative blood. So yeah, he got it from his mother. She was A positive or A negative. No, she was A negative. I remember now, or AB negative, either A negative or AB negative, because I was O positive. And when you have a positive and negative and they have kids, there can be problems. So they had to monitor when she had the baby. And because he was A negative and she was negative, she didn't have any problems. There's a clash between the positive and negative when a child is born. I don't know if y'all knew. Did y'all know that? Yeah. Yep. If let's say that I, for instance, was O positive and my wife was A negative at the time of birth, or right during that time, even though the blood doesn't exchange between the two people because of the negative and the positive. If the bloods mix, it can be bad through the placenta. It can be bad for the mother, and it can be bad for the baby. Therefore, if they test the baby's blood and find out during midterm of the pregnancy, they give her a shot which will suppress the battle of the two bloods, so to speak. And then at birth, they will give the mother a shot to suppress if the baby is a positive.
Wow.
Yeah. Because it can really affect the mother or the baby. How it affects the mother so much is in different ways. But one of the things it can do is her immune system will build up an antibody to the negative blood, so that whenever she has another baby and the baby is opposite of her, let's say positive, her blood will actually attack the baby, so to speak. So, Dixon, you come in here at the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll live.
He just got up.
No, I was up at I was up at 7, but I go to bed at usually midnight. Depends how late I work.
Usually rock out about 9:30. I'll sleep by 10.
This is my lucky week. I have the phone all week, and they're running around the clock because we're food and medical down at work. So that's a blast.
Just the stuff that everybody needs.
Yeah, I need to be retired. Oh, I got to turn off this mute here. Delay on my big TV.
Yeah, hopefully by November, I'm joining the ranks of the retired.
Good for you. Anybody that now, I don't know if I'll be able to retire. I got hammered pretty bad on the 401k. This foolishness.
Yeah. Well,
I don't have a lot left in it after the last time I got beat up, but everything's in what we call G funds. They're protected. I can't lose anything. I don't gain as much interest, but I can't lose anything.
Yeah, it's a good deal.
They were talking about that. My wife has a 401k, and I think 2 of my sons have 401ks, and our local TV channel had a financial advisor, and I'm sure that y'all that have them know this, but I'll just tell you what he said. He said, just sit still.
Yeah.
This is not going to last forever.
No.
Even though you may take a hit, it will recover. It may take a while to recover, but if you're not within, let's say, a year or 2 years of retirement, in other words, if you've got 5 years left before you retire, you'll be fine. Now, if you're within a year or so of retirement, you might have some problems, but other than that, they said the worst thing you can do is panic and sell or trade or whatever at this point. So,
I mean, I don't do a lot of it. I'm not nowhere near a pro of it, but you think about it, airlines are going to come bouncing right back.
Yes.
The cruise industry is going to come bouncing right back.
Yep.
Travel, everything will go back to normal, and they'll go back fast because people want to get back to their normal life.
Yes.
So
notice how the senators dumped it before it happened.
Yeah, I'm hoping those guys wind up under the jail because that's illegal now.
Yes.
Yep, but they do it. They dumped it. And
didn't they put Martha Stewart in prison for doing that?
Exactly that. Yep.
Yeah.
I think that all these senators that did that, whether Republican or Democrat, I don't give a crap. I think you ought to pay the consequences.
Yep.
It's funny how in the news story I saw, and then I read in the paper, they named all the Republicans that did it, but they managed to leave out the Democrat that saved herself.
I saw that.
$6 million. Left her completely out of the list. So.
Yeah,
I saw that. They made sure that they made a point of the Republicans, which is fine. But I know the Democrats did it too. They can't sit there and they can't BS me. The news, CNN, all of them are so prejudiced. They don't tell the truth. They put their spin on it.
the brainwashing box.
Yes.
That's all.
I absorb probably 10% of what goes through my ears when I'm listening to the news, because half of it's bullcrap.
Yep, exactly.
I listen to the financial advice, which our guy does a very good job. That the local, he's with, I can't think of the name. It's the stadium. I want to say Jim Redmond, but I don't know if that's not right. But Raymond James. It's Raymond James. He's with Raymond James Financial, which is our local thing, and he's very good. And like he's the one that was talking about the 401k. That stuff I listen to when they have the actual doctors on there. We have our local channel has she's Dr. Joe Villa Zinka or something. I can't even pronounce her name. She's very good. So that stuff I listen to. This other BS.
Yep, it's all a con.
Yeah. Do I believe it's bad? Yes, no doubt. Do I believe that they're overplaying it and the news media is trying to make the administration and everybody look bad? Oh, hell yes. Self-quarantine myself for 30 days, no symptoms, and still no time to do everything, Donna says. Yeah. Yeah, we've been self-quarantined since the first of the month also. And only place I've been is twice to go get the necessities that we had to have, bread, milk from our local grocery. You
live sort of out in the country a little bit too, don't you?
Yeah.
Which that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
She said, hopefully I'll start fixing the chicken coop tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, we're in a neighborhood, but yes, we're not right up in the city either. Leroy Hodges, Mike Lincolns, Ted Alexander, Bob Lee, Florence Fullen, all have joined. Tony Tripiano have all joined us over on Facebook. Nobody's saying anything over there. We are monitoring the chat if y'all have questions or want to talk. We are monitoring Facebook.
Donna is asking you if you do Walmart pickup for your supplies, Russ.
We do sometimes, yes, we do. But right now, they're so overwhelmed that if you put in an order, sometimes it's 3 days before you can get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I just got.
And even then, they don't have half of what they tell you they have.
You can forget toilet paper.
Yeah.
So I just hop in the car and run whenever we actually need something. I make it. I'll only go when we actually have to have some. Is that your granddaughter?
Grandpa's on TV. Yes, this is my little Allison. Wave. They can see you. Look.
Allison. See? Hey. Ho, 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 Allison.
She's trying to figure it out.
Did I see?
Yes,
we can see you.
They can see you.
We can see you.
That's Russell, Chris, Brenda G.
Hi there.
Spitting image. They repeat. Spitting image of when my daughter was little.
Yeah.
Identical.
My daughter, two of my daughters, Ashley has her daughter, Audra. Oh my God. You can take her baby picture and put it next to Ashley's baby picture, and they're twins. Matter of fact, there is a picture of my wife holding Ashley when she's probably 2 years old, and Audra will look at it and say, "That's me." The other one is Millie. My Amber had Millie and Mason, the twins, and Millie looks a spitting image of Amber.
Wow.
That's how I talk in the microphone. I can hear here.
Well, she wants to take it away from you. She wants to talk.
Guys, let's put the earbuds. See, if I turn this on, the problem is you'll be able to hear it if I turn the big screen on. But
Donna's Word Art says,
there's a delay.
Allison, hey. Leonard Davis says, hey, Allison.
All right, here you go.
Anyway, back to the Walmart thing. Yes, we have been using Walmart for quite some time. I'm talking about probably since it first started. We loved it because I could just, we could set a time and I could just drive up. They'd put it in my trunk of my car and I'd come home. So we've been using that. We also use Sam Club's pre-order. In other words, we're a Sam Club's member, and I could pre-order from Sam's Club, just pull up there. It was prepaid. I just had to show my card and sign a thing, pick the card up, load it in the car, and come home. So we've been using those for quite some time. The reason I've chose to go to Publix, our local place, whenever we have to have something, is because, as Brenda said, they don't have what you want. It can be up to 3 days. So if you need milk today, guess what? In 3 days you might get it. So, and if they have it.
Who are you talking to?
Yeah, I think we're gonna try that. I'll have to talk to the wife about trying that because we have stores up here called Festival Foods, and their customer service is just awesome. So
if you can wait a few days, it's fine.
Yeah.
You know, if you think about it.
That's why they're all scared of Amazon. I mean, that guy is just going crazy with everything. They're worried about Amazon because he's going to be delivering milk on your porch within a day.
I'll take that. I'd go with it.
Yes.
I mean, I gotta admit, I like going to stores, but if I ever get the time and Amazon can put it on the porch, I'm all about it.
All right, who's the other one? We have Allison, who's...
I gotta unmute. And this is Lucas.
Lucas. Hi, Lucas.
Lucas.
Hi, buddy.
That's Chris and Russell and Brenda G. We just have them today. My daughter's working at home and she needs a break once a week. Otherwise, when she goes back to work, we usually watch them twice a week in the morning.
Ashley has Audra and Levi. We watch Levi every once in a while for her. And Ashley told my wife yesterday, "Oh, I'll be glad when I can go back to work."
Are them the twins that you're
No.
talking about? Oh,
No.
okay.
No, they're not the twins. No, but Amber is home with it. She's home. Both of them are working from home because they can off of company laptops. Amber and Ashley, but both of them are saying like, "Oh God, I'll be glad when I can go back to work." The Mason broke his ankle this weekend.
Wow, that's crazy because you had the other one that broke his arm.
Yep, Gage broke his arm.
Yeah.
Amber goes, as fast as I can get one out of the cast, the other one's in it. Gage just got his cast off last week, and then over the weekend, Mason breaks his ankle.
My oldest grandson, Paul, broke his arm. They were in a big home, and they were sliding down the banister, and he broke his arm, and now he's in 8th grade, and he's an excellent quarterback with that broken arm.
Leonard Davis says, and Donna Woodart says, Donna Presley and Leonard Davis says, "Hi, Lucas." They all said hi to Allison too.
Thank you.
She got their big pool has a motor or filter problems or whatever. Anyway, she bought them a kiddie pool, and so they're playing in the kiddie pool. They wanted some toys. Well, the deck is about 3 feet off the ground, so they went and got the toys. On the way back, Mason's in front of Amber, and he walks up to the steps and says, "Hey, look, Mommy, I'm going to jump." And Amber goes, "No." And he leaps from the top step to the ground. Boom.
Ooh.
Yeah. So he did he's only 2 years old, or a little over 2. He did a compression fracture of his right ankle, I believe, or left ankle. Yeah. At their age, their bones aren't totally fully calcified. Nope. They're not hard. So when they get breaks, it kind of like squashes them. So
yeah. Roadie when they're young.
Yeah. Oh, he's a daredevil. He has no fear. I mean, just like jumping off of that, he don't even think twice about it. He just does it.
If they did some of the stuff we did, me and my brothers on the farm, I'd freak out. Some of the stuff we used to do.
I found out real quick, an umbrella is not a parachute.
No, it's not.
Nope.
We were swinging on the rafters way up in the barn with twine, copying Wild Wild West. We didn't know any better.
Yep.
We used to do that.
I jumped off the top of a barn with an umbrella. Lucky I didn't kill myself. That sucker folded right up.
Yeah, because it's like, ooh, an umbrella. I could try that.
Yeah. Well, I got the idea from you remember those little plastic men you got with the parachute?
Yeah, we used to have them. Yep.
Yeah, and you used to wrap it around and throw him up in the air, and that sucker would pop up and float down to the ground. And I'm sitting there holding an umbrella going, "Foop." All right.
Yeah, we had a little square window on the farmhouse, the big farmhouse. It was a 2-story. We used to throw our G.I. Joe guys out with take bread bags and make new parachutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a blast.
You got a real quick lesson on gravity.
Yeah. I think it worked long enough for me to go, this ain't working. Yeah. I think, I mean, it must have folded in the first 2 foot of, maybe 3 foot of free fall.
Wow. Can't say I ever did that, but we used to live on, we call them 3-deckers, 3 apartment units on top of each other. And one early Sunday morning, myself, my brother, and my neighbors next door were all in the 3rd floor apartments. we saw to reach one of my dad's painting ladders across the alley to the neighbor's porch, 3 stories up. There's a bridge. So,
Yeah.
we weren't allowed to go outside to go play with them next door, so we built a bridge to get over there. So
I did.
we got over it. We didn't fall, but Dad was none too impressed. So.
Quite a few things. Oh, we're going back to Mason. Mason swallowed some money the other day, and this isn't. I'm going to make a joke of it, but he really did. And my daughter was kind of worried. She called me and she goes, you know, what should I do? And she thinks it was either a dime or a penny or whatever. And she goes, what should I do? I said, nothing. I said, I would only be worried if it was something pointy or odd shaped, you know what I'm saying? With sharp edges or whatever. I said, a coin is round. The odds are it will come out after a few days. You just have to start looking for it. And I said, Mason reminds me of the woman that called up the doctor and said her son had swallowed a quarter. The doctor called her back the next day and said, any change yet?
Yep, it's gonna pass. Don't
worry. It'll pass. If it was something, you know, something like I said with sharp corners, like a jack. You remember when you used to play jacks and that little spiky thing? Yeah. The ball. And if he swallowed the jack, I'd say you better take him to the hospital.
Because step on one of those things in your bare feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really if they swallow a quarter and then it comes out $1.50, then that's a good
deal. David Roby joined us over on YouTube. Hi, David. We're fixing to call it. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock. We're gonna call it today. I got some things I need to get done, and I'm sure that everybody here needs to get done. So yeah, we're gonna call it a day. And I'm just gonna end the meeting, guys. I'm not gonna spend any time.
Yeah.
Just gonna
I'm gonna go watch some submarine movies on a TCM.
Well, I was gonna ask you, what are you doing today, Dixon?
I get to go to work at noon. And this morning I was working on, I got robot parts all sitting here that I designed a transmission for with a lot of torque. I got robot parts. I got to show Lukey here. He wants to see them.
Cool.
And designing robots.
All right, cool. Bye, Lucas. See you, Lucas. Bye.
Russ said bye. You can't hear him, but wave.
Bye.
Said bye.
See you later, alligator.
See you later, alligator, he says. What do you say?
Bye.
In a wild crocodile.
In a wild crocodile.